Welcome to another free game. This is another free take. Let's just get right into it. Um, Listen, I am not let me repeat this. I am not a Jake Paul stan. I don't I don't co-sign what he does. I'm a pure boxing purist to the full max, right? But I got to give credit where credit is due. Jake Paul, in my opinion, he's a genius, man. It's just listen, let's just get it out the way. I personally think it wasn't fake, but I won't argue with you if you say it is. Now, everybody's been saying, man, Mike Tyson wasn't allowed to go full Mike Tyson. He wasn't allowed to get hit in the face. He wasn't all these stipulations and all these leaks about what round he was supposed to last to get the money. All that's great, right? All that is fantastic. And if that's your argument, kudos. I'm not going to argue with you. It wouldn't surprise me if it was fake. But you still watched, didn't you? You know what I mean? Um, Listen, shout out to Mike Tyson for getting his hoorah moment. I think everybody packed that stadium out, Jerry World in Dallas, Texas, simply to see Mike Tyson be Mike Tyson. And, I think it was a great, last farewell, homage to Iron Mike. And he deserves something like that. And as far as the fight goes, listen, I have some opinions on it. I personally think Mike Tyson doesn't have the conditioning to go 8 rounds. I mean, you can call it fake. You can say that he was biting his glove and it was just a sign to tell Jake to ease up. And if Mike Tyson hit Jake, Jake whispered in his ear, take it easy. Listen, all that's great, like I said, but look at Mike's legs. He wore a knee brace to a boxing fight. Like, he's 58 years old. And kudos to Mike for even training. That shit's hard. I mean, I did a boxing workout for 30 minutes, and it was the hardest workout I've ever done in my life. That was 30 minutes. I played college basketball. I ran cross country. I have never, ever been so tired after a 30-minute boxing workout. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. So, at 58 years old, for Mike Tyson to prepare for a fight, and, you see the footage and the pad work and the speed, kudos to him, but he's 58 years old. Jake could have easily took him out. Easily. And I'm glad he didn't. Kudos to Jake for not putting Mike out and actually going hard to put him away. Because then the reactions would have been a lot worse. A lot worse. He gave him grace, in my opinion. But why did I call Jake Paul a genius? Well, I'll tell you why. For those of you who said you're never going to watch another Jake Paul fight again, you said that the last 3 fights. And guess what? You watched this one on Netflix, which, by the way, the connection for Netflix was terrible. They need to get that fixed pronto because they got a couple NFL games. Beyonce's doing the halftime show. You got to get that figured out big time because I had to watch it on Antonio Brown's live stream and Jesus. But the fact of the matter is, boxing fights of this magnitude have always been on pay-per-view. Okay? DiJon tried to do a, subscription type thing, but mainly your big fights are going to be on pay-per-view to where you got to pay 80 to $100 and it's no problem. The fighters get, percentage of it depending on how you negotiate your contract. And all is well. You get a great fight, you get a great package. But this right here, adding it to Netflix, made it so convenient for the average person who just wants something to do for the weekend, wants to host a party with a bunch of friends. You don't have to be a boxing purist to know who Mike Tyson is or Jake Paul. So, hey, it's on Netflix. I have a Netflix subscription. I don't have to pay an extra, $20 or a full pay-per-view price. I'm in. Come on over. Netflix everywhere. Everybody has it. Genius on his part. Simply because he made it convenient for you to watch. Now, was it fake? I don't know. Everybody's saying, well, this is so WWE. It's just turning boxing into WWE. Not entirely. For one, Jake Paul's not a signed boxer to a major promotion. He has a professional record. He has sanctioned fights. But let's just face it. I mean, if you want to call him WWE, WWE is a over $8 billion corporation. That's $2 billion less than the most expensive sports team in the world, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. That's how much the WWE makes. And we know it's fake, but people still watch. If you want to say it's WWE, fine, but I think the dude is smart. I think he pushes the right buttons for people. Fighting Mike Tyson, big name. They don't care if it was 58 years old. 80,000 people packed in Jerry World. And he's giving you good main card fights as well. The Mario Barrios fight against Ramos, my God. Great fight. Ended in a draw. I'm okay with a draw. Barrios is a champ. You got to beat the champ. That's just how boxing works. I'm cool with the draw. The Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor fight. What a bloodbath that was. I believe Amanda Serrano got the short end of the stick for sure. Some of those headbutts were intentional, but when you have a southpaw fighter versus an orthodox fighter, you're going to get that. You're going to get not intentional, but you're going to get more headbutts because they're both in different positions. It's just how it happens. But he brought two and the three best women's fighter that aren't named Clarissa Shields on a major platform fight. Kudos to Jake for that too. And the money, man. The money that kid is earning for these fights that nobody wants to watch. Come on. I mean, I don't know what the exact number was, but I guess it's probably around 60 million. Maybe. I don't know. That's just counting not the actual subscription, but the people in the household, so just times that by 2. A lot of people watched that fight. A lot of people talked about the fight, and this isn't the last time you're going to see a boxing fight on a streaming service. I guarantee you Jeff Bezos is watching that and saying, I have Thursday Night Football. I don't have any problems with it. People still tune in. Few people subscribe to Prime. I might give Jake a call in 6 months. So, there's going to be a lot of money to be made with these so-called fake fights. Who would Jake's next opponent be? Listen, like I said, I'm not the biggest. I'm not a fan of Jake, at all. But, I give credit where credit's due. The guy's skill is a average to below average boxer. And the original way to do this is you fight people at your level or very below you, build yourself up, continue to be on, some of the undercards of the bigger fights, and then, eventually you make your way. But he has made his own lane to where out the gate, he's calling the shots, he's setting up the fights, he's picking and choosing because he's making the money. There are two types of fighters, promotion-wise. There are fighters that can't promote their own fights worth a damn. They're terrible on the mic. Some of them have broken English, but in the ring, they're absolute killers. And Gennady Golovkin would be an example for that. Triple G doesn't really care about, the press conferences, doesn't care about promoting the fight, hyping up the fight. He's just there to box. And in his prime, he did it very well. And then you have guys like Floyd Mayweather, one of the best promoters, the best at doing promotions, but he could back it up. And he's done it over and over and over and over again. And then he builds this thing where I want to see him lose. I'm going to pay for this fight so I can see Floyd lose, and I can go on the internet and say, we told you so. And you never did it because he's never lost. Jake is in this lane of he can promote the hell out of a fight, but he doesn't have the skill to back it up with the best of them. But he puts asses in seats. He's in that middle ground in his own lane, and you got to give him credit for it. I mean, come on. Yes, it's Mike Tyson. Yes, he's 58 years old, but you weren't saying that before the fight. A lot of people pick Mike Tyson to win simply because his past. It's Iron Mike. He's not going to let Jake Paul beat him. I don't know. As far as Jake's next opponent goes, I have a few theories. The first one, in my opinion, is kind of the one that's been thrown around out there. It makes sense. I don't know if he'll ever do it, but Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia would need Jake more than Jake needs Ryan. He's banned for a year. Well, technically 6 months, because after every fight, you get 6 months off till your next one. That's just how boxing works. So he pretty much got suspended for 6 months for a banned substance against Devin Haney. So that's just, in his promotion, or, the IBA or the IBF, whatever. That doesn't exclude exhibitions. He can still fight a sanctioned fight. So he could go overseas and fight in Japan, and then you can come back and fight Jake Paul. Now, you would have two people who are very good at promoting a fight. Okay? Ryan is a legit boxer. He was a former champion at one point. He beat the brakes off of Devin Haney. I don't care if he had a substance in it or not. He can fight. Ryan can fight. He's very skilled. He's very fast. He's very powerful. For that, I don't think Jake would take a fight. But if Jake did take the fight, it would benefit Ryan a lot more, because it'll get him back on the boxing purist side, to where boxing fans are going to be happy for Ryan because he's going to beat the shit out of Jake. A lot of boxing fans hate Jake, understandably. But that would bring Ryan back to their good graces side. And then he would be, a face. In WWE terms, that's a good guy. So it would benefit Ryan a lot more. Jake would get a shit ton of money for it because everybody's going to pay to see him get knocked out. And they know Ryan can do that. I don't think Jake will do it, but we'll see how that goes. The second person that would be a formidable opponent for Jake is his brother, Logan Paul. A lot of people know Logan. He made the Prime drink. He's on WWE, so he knows how to cut promos. He knows how to sell. He knows how to do all this, make storylines. You could do a bunch of stuff with Jake versus Logan, a bunch of stuff, and it will sell. And I don't think they would take it easy on each other. I think they are both competitors. But if that were to happen, I think that would be the end of this Jake Paul boxing saga. You know, they would ride off into the sunset with that. And would they do it? I think they would eventually. I don't know if it'd be right now because Jake's hot as fish grease right now. Everybody's calling him out. And he just has his pick of the litter on what he wants to do and what makes sense. But Jake versus Logan, that would sell very well. And who knows who would win that one? Who knows? The third and final one, I think, would be very, very interesting. Jake Paul versus Francis Ngannou in a boxing match. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. There's no way on God's green earth Jake Paul would beat the baddest man on the planet that's not named Jon Jones. Say what you want about what happened with Francis and Anthony Joshua. Listen, I didn't expect Francis to get knocked out that bad neither, but Anthony Joshua is very skilled and he had something to prove. He had a tough fight with Tyson Fury, the best heavyweight in the world right now. Had it close, very close. Would have been the biggest upset in sports history if Francis would have won. For Jake's side, it makes sense because everybody wants to see him lose badly. So you fight the baddest man on the planet that's not named Jon Jones, super duper knockout artist, and Jake's fought people under his weight, at his weight, but never anybody really over his weight. Francis would be a formidable opponent. That thing would sell like crazy. You would be stupid. People would pay pay-per-view to watch that fight. It would be insane. And I don't know if Francis would do it because, you know, he's retired. But the payday. Francis is known for not turning down money. That's all I'm saying. Boxing makes a lot of money, and that fight would do crazy numbers if done right. But out of all these, the one that would probably happen more realistically would probably be Jake and Logan, in my opinion. It's just easier. Everybody kind of would expect that, and I think it would be beneficial to both sides, obviously. I don't think the Ryan Garcia one's going to happen. I don't even think Francis was even in the conversation. I just think it would be very interesting and it would make sense numbers-wise, but I don't know. We'll see, man. But, yeah, Jake's a genius, man. Listen, I give credit where credit's due. The people that say they're never going to watch another Jake Paul fight again, keep the receipt. And then we'll see what happens in 6 to 8 months on what that kid will cook up. Because I guarantee you, if it's going to be worth it, you're going to watch. And it's going to be somebody that is very good at promoting and has a good shot of actually knocking him out. Because the old retired legends and the old UFC fighters, that's out the window. Unless it's Conor McGregor, then you'll watch. I guarantee you'll watch. So, that's just that. I give him credit. Jake, congratulations on your business. That fight was terrible, but I see what you're doing. He's making a lot of money. I can't hate on it. But that is it for this free take. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you comment down below. Who do you think Jake should fight? Let me know if it makes sense. But make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that is it for this free take. And I'm out.